What's going on, Knuckleheads? This is George with Fighters Rep. If you love talking about combat sports and you want to join Knucklehead Nation and our constant discussions, please click below. We'll be doing this after and before all of the big fights. Now, I want to get into it straight away. Paulie Malignaggi versus Artem Lobov. The press conference went down today in New York, Paulie Malignaggi's hometown, so you know he had to be a little bit extra boisterous. A little bit of extra testosterone was involved, and it was nothing short of fireworks as usual. Now, typically, I think the BKFC stuff is a bit of a sideshow, only because they're usually using guys that have retired or just didn't make it in other combat sports. But I'm actually intrigued by this. And part of the reason I feel this way about this is because both of these guys can fight, and it's a boxer versus an MMA fighter, and they're both out of their element. Of course, Paulie Malignaggi is going to have better boxing, but he's never fought anybody. He's never fought anybody in any organized sport with no gloves on. You know, this is going to be no gloves, and Artem Lobov, being an MMA fighter, is actually used to very small gloves, which of course is going to be a lot closer to fighting bare knuckles. So I'm really intrigued about this. Also, a lot of the stuff that Paulie was saying was absolutely nuts. The dude was just talking all sorts of shit. And if you thought that Deontay Wilder was dark, talking about he wanted a body on his record, Paulie Malignaggi took this shit Sith Lord level all the way to the dark side. Let's just go over a couple of things this man said. He said he wants to put Artem Lobov in a coma. He said, I want to beat the F out of you and spit on you. This is the kind of stuff he was saying. He even said he wanted to remove, okay, I'm going to use a more scientific term because I don't want to dirty this up and get kicked off YouTube right away. He wants to remove his phallus, and when he knocks Artem Lobov's teeth out, he wants to urinate in the man's toothless mouth. Paulie Malignaggi, you have zero F's going into this fight, my man, and that was just absolutely disgusting. I was entertained by it, I must admit, but that's just absolutely disgusting. And anybody who was talking crap about Wilder, saying he wanted a body on his record, needs to go and see a therapist after what Paulie Malignaggi said to Artem Lobov today. Then, during the press conference, while, you know, Paulie's talking all this smack, he actually reaches over. Right, he reaches over. They keep challenging each other. He told Artem Lobov, "Hey, why you let all these men slap you?" Artem Lobov stood up, said, "Slap me, come slap me." And then Paulie looked like he tried to hit him with the mic. It looked like it missed, and then they broke them up. It kind of wasn't as serious as their first melee. You know, they seemed serious, but they were able to get pulled apart pretty quickly. Then after the press conference, they brought them together again. And this is when it really started to go down. They were talking smack to each other back and forth. Artem Lobov said something with the word mate at the end. You know, all the guys in Europe, guys in England, they use the word mate. Paulie was like, "I'm not your mate." And, you know, they started going back and forth. And then Lobov pointed a finger at Paulie. And Paulie said, "Don't point that finger at me. The last time I got you smacked, don't point that finger at me." And then Artem Lobov went, he pointed the hell out that finger. He went like this. Ah! And Paulie did not like that. So what did Paulie do? He resorted to doing the nastiest thing he can do, other than what he said before, which was remove his phallus from his pants and urinate in the man's mouth. He decided to spit on Artem Lobov. Man, Paulie Malignaggi, despite all this craziness that he's doing, despite his ridiculous conduct, he's still a commentator. I mean, I don't know how this man... I wonder if look, I'm worried this man's going to lose his job as a commentator because of this ridiculous bare-knuckle fight. I don't think it's worth it. Anyway, I think Paulie Malignaggi is really confident about this fight. He sees himself as the two-time champ, which is true. And he says to Artem Lobov, "You've got, more losses than you have wins." And he's got this vendetta for Conor McGregor, man. He's pissed. He wants to get back at Conor McGregor, and I feel like he's definitely carried that vitriol over to his fight with Artem Lobov, because he was bringing up Dana White, and he was bringing up the sparring afterwards with Conor McGregor. He said Artem Lobov was the first one basically giving him fellatio, congratulating him after the sparring session. Yeah, I'm just excited to see what's going to happen in there because, it's a boxer versus an MMA guy, and they're both out of their element. It should be a good fight. Again, and another thing is Paulie doesn't have a lot of power. Artem Lobov probably has more power than Paulie, especially with those small gloves or with no gloves at all. So that's going to be exciting for me. Finally, Knuckleheads, another thing that I was kind of curious about. It looks like this event is going down June 22nd in Tampa, Florida. I said, oh my goodness, has Tampa, Florida now allowed for the sanctioning of bare knuckle fighting? It's going down at the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa, Florida, and I don't know how that's happening. So I don't know how Florida has decided to sanction bare knuckle boxing, but being from Florida, I'm not that surprised. It is pretty crazy out there the way a lot of people say, although I'm in California now and I think it's crazy here too. So there you have it, Knuckleheads. Those are my thoughts. Please subscribe below. Please tune in. Also, be sure to tune in July 27th for Fighters Rep 7. It's going to be live streamed right on this channel. Leave your thoughts. Leave your comments. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think. And feel free to donate and get you some Fighters Rep merchandise below. Thanks, Knuckleheads.